Hey everyone, we're here again for our daily update and devotions. As far as updates, we're still trekking along to have worship service Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. in the sanctuary, and to break off into our Sunday school classes for discussion questions from 10:30 to 11:15. I look forward to worshiping with you on Sunday, and yes, we will have our radio broadcast through 88.1. The signal, the sermon will be broadcasted there at 9:30 in the parking lots here at Winchester First Baptist. Also, our online video for our YouTube channel, Facebook page will be posted later. We'll record the live service at 9:30 and will be posted later that Sunday afternoon online. So you will not be able to watch it at the same time online if you're still at home, but you will be able to watch it later that afternoon. And as far as just what's going on in our country and things, I just encourage you to pray. And if you're not sure what to pray, just pray the Lord's Prayer. Go to Matthew chapter 6 and follow along and pray that prayer. Pray the Lord's Prayer that His kingdom would come, His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So I encourage you just to be praying for all people, that all people will come to the knowledge and the hope of Jesus Christ through the gospel. And pray that God would help you to be a light to your community. All right, so with that being said, let's continue with our devotions. We're in Proverbs chapter 27. Last week we looked at, yesterday, we looked at verses 1 through 14. Today, we're going to look at 2 verses to finish out chapter 27. So with that being said, let's look at our first verse today, and that is verse 17. So chapter 27, verse 17 says, "Iron sharpens iron, and one person sharpens another." I got 4 questions for you to start with. 1, do you believe you need guidance in life? 2, who is able to speak truth into your life without you getting offended or upset? 3, how do you respond to correction? 4, do you have someone in your life to keep you accountable? See, we need each other. We were never designed to live alone. God has graciously formed us into one body called the church. However, church cannot happen in isolation, because we have to be together for church to be possible. Again, church literally means, people gathered in like mind. So we have to be gathered in order for church to happen. Church is not a building. Church is not a location. Church is a people. But again, having church is not possible for a believer to do that on their own. There has to be a group of believers coming together for the church to be possible. And again, it's not just any type of gathering. It's not just a potluck meal. The church is a gathering of like-minded believers who are set and fully committed on glorifying God with their lives. That's what the church is. It's a group of people, like-minded people, gathered and committed to the glory of God. So as we grow in our faith, we must change, because we're trying to become more like Christ and glorify God with our life. But the problem is, this change can be very difficult. But we must remember that we're not perfect as we are. So we must continue to seek to become more like Christ, which means we need people in our life who are willing to speak truth to us, who are willing to push us to become more like Christ, to become more of who God has commanded us to be. So if you are content with never changing, and you have no one in your life to push you to become like Christ, you are in a very dangerous place. You are more like the foolish person mentioned here in Proverbs than you are like the wise person mentioned here in Proverbs. So we must be wise. We must seek guidance from God first, and then from other believers second, but we must be seeking both of those. We need to realize that we need God and we need others in our lives. We are incomplete on our own. And this leads us to verse 19. Read with me verse 19 from chapter 27. "As water reflects the face, so the heart reflects the person." I want you to take a moment and think about this. What verse 19 is doing is calling us for a self-evaluation. So ask yourself these questions again. Do I believe I need guidance? Who is able to speak truth into my life without me getting offended or upset? How do I respond to correction? How do I respond to change? How do I have someone in my life to keep me accountable? Brothers and sisters, we need each other. We need to be pushed. We need to be challenged. We need to be encouraged to live for God's glory. And again, you cannot do that by yourself. You need the church. You need people that are like-minded coming together to glorify God. We need each other. Brothers and sisters, we can't live this life alone. We can't be in isolation. And again, this is not talking about some gathering just for potlucks to eat or to have fellowship and hang out. This is talking about we need people, we need to gather, and we need people who will push us, challenge us, hold us accountable, force us almost to change to become more like Christ. You need people willing to speak truth into your life, because as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. You can't be sharpened alone. So seek wisdom by seeking accountability for God's glory. I hope you have a great evening, and I look forward to talking with you again tomorrow.